Welcome to Made in Ely, where we talk to local businesses and people from Ely about what they're doing and how they're doing it, recorded here at Ely Work Collective. Today's guest is Matty, aka MattyMakesMunch. Hi Matt, how you doing?
Hey man, how are you? Yeah, good to meet you finally. How are you?
Yeah, very good, thank you.
Really good.
So kind of get the ball rolling. Who are you? What do you do? What's your story?
So I'm Matty. I'm a 31-year-old male from Ely. It sounds like a dating thing, doesn't it? No. Yeah. So I'm a chef and a passionate foodie. Who has set up an Instagram page that people seem to be following and enjoying called MattyMakesMunch, and also Ely Foodies, which came on a little bit later on. And I'm just someone who likes to mess around online and people listen and watch.
The best way to be, really, isn't it? Yeah. And what made you kind of want to go down that route into the kind of creation side and the content side from where you started?
It's an easy one. It was COVID. Same as everyone else. Yeah. It was COVID. I got furloughed for quite a while from the job I was in, and I was doing posts every day on my personal Instagram of what I'm cooking at home. I was still living with mum and dad, so I was like, "Here's what mum's eating today," and my girlfriend, my now wife, I said to her, I'm thinking about setting up an Instagram page, and she said, "Yeah, do it." Yeah. And then I just did it. I literally 5 minutes went on Canva and made some silly logo, and then 5 minutes later Matty Makes Munch was born, and all of my friends followed it, and then it's just kind of snowballed into what it is now. Yeah,
you've kind of become a voice of reason in Ely when it comes to the food scene there and everything else.
Voice of reason, maybe pushing it a little bit, but we'll go with it, yeah.
And what kind of food content do you enjoy making the most around these things?
So the food content that I've been making has been going all around the place a little bit. It started off with me cooking at home. It then became me filming myself going out to markets and places like that. But more recently, it has been the content where both my wife and myself have gone out and she films me. I call myself on Instagram your unprofessional fatfluencer, but we've gone a little bit more professional with her filming me. We've got a microphone and all that sort of stuff. So we go out and film at restaurants for theme nights or something like that. They'll say, "Hey, Matty, do you want to come down and try this?" Yeah, sure, let's do it. And that's lovely because number one, it's like a date night with the wife. Yeah. Number two, I absolutely love promoting a local business, especially if they're doing something completely different and it's really enjoyable. Yeah, let's shout about it. And number three, I've become quite friendly with quite a few people, so it's nice to see them all. It's taken a bit of getting used to being on camera. Yeah, I'm kind of used to the sound of my own voice now for Instagram, but then sometimes when I'm sat there just editing a reel and I'm like, I don't like looking at me, but post it, and then it does really well, and I'm like, cool, we'll have that. Yeah,
I know exactly what you mean. Here, obviously, as you've probably seen from ours, we have to start making content on a daily basis, and we started off just doing shots of the office and people here. Then people are going, no, you need to have you in it because that's the venue and everything else. And it was I really don't want to be in it. And I tend to edit a lot of our stuff and record it, and I hate it. It takes me ages to build the courage up to go post, see what happens.
I sometimes have to lock myself away in in my room, or sometimes even in the bath to force myself to edit a reel. I'm like, I need to get this done. I've promised it's going to go out. But then it was funnily enough, it was my boss who said to me, "Why don't you go and AI a picture of yourself and stick it at the end of every reel and then have that as your profile picture?" Yeah. And I took that on board and I did it, and I actually really quite like it because it looks nothing like me but also like me at the same time. Yeah. Awesome. So yeah.
And how do you find kind of going into restaurants and places like that and recording there? Do you ever feel a bit kind of, shit, is everyone looking at me? What's everyone thinking? Who's this guy? Or
all the time. It's nice because I can't stand, these influencers that go, "Hey, I'm going to come in and do this if you give me this." Never do that. Yeah. If we're going in somewhere, we're either there off our own back paying in full, or they've invited us in on, just pay for drinks or something like that. So they'll know who we are. I do get very self-conscious. I'll try and pick a table where people aren't necessarily able to watch as much. But what's really nice is the owners are cool with that. Yeah. So, for example, burger night at the pantry a couple of weeks ago, I just said, "Can you just tuck us away in a corner?" And it's actually just a really nice, lovely corner. Yeah. There was no one behind us, no one next to us, so I felt more free to do it. It's the initial, I'm doing this in public and people are watching, but then you kind of go, "Oh, Scott, we're fine. Yeah, we're all good." So
like ripping a plaster off, isn't it?
Yeah, it literally,
you're kind of on the way then.
Yeah.
Yeah. And have you found you enjoy doing that kind of content more than the home cooking or your own kind of bit?
Definitely, because how can I put it? When I'm at home, I'm cooking just to eat.
Yeah.
I'm not cooking for the pleasure of it because I spend all day cooking at work. I'm kind of like, right, let's just cook and get it done. Yeah. If something looks pretty, I'll take a nice photo of it and I'll go on the stories. But I've not. I have done it before. Don't get me wrong. If you go back and have a look, there's lots of videos where I've done like homemade fish finger sandwiches and all this sort of stuff and cornflake chicken burgers. But I just can't be bothered when I'm home in the evening after work.
Fair enough. Yeah.
So I try not to. If I do, it's all thoroughly planned out. It then doesn't go to plan, and it then doesn't get shared.
Sounds fairly familiar, yeah. So with regards to the work side of it, how long have you been kind of doing chefing at a professional level?
I've been chefing now since, well, even going through college and stuff, all my part-time jobs within kitchen. So started off as a KP, worked my way up to, I was a chef at a soft play centre when I was at college, done conferencing hospitalities. I was head chef at a place in Newmarket for a little while. And so that was, we're talking about 14 years worth. Yeah. Which is nice.
And you still enjoying it? You still love it? Good.
Love it. Yeah, I'm in a really good position at the moment as well, which I thoroughly love. Creativity, people, hours. Yeah. It's lovely. Yeah, it's real nice.
And do you find when you go places and you start making content with kind of restaurants and other kind of food places that you find yourself being a little bit kind of extra critical because it's something that you would cook yourself? Would you go, well, I would have done that a bit differently? Or
it's a funny one because I've seen people be asked this question before and they've gone, oh, no, I'd never do that. But 100% I do. Yeah. But it's not, I don't do it because, I don't do it for any other reason than I'm thinking, how can I replicate this where I am? And I do that a lot. I take a lot of influence when I've been out to these reviews, and I put them into place at work. So we were at the Malabarique Atelier. I can never say it properly. In the Indian place on Fort Hill. Yes. Yeah. And they served us a really nice mint chutney.
Okay.
And it was yesterday at work. We did a lamb keema biryani, and I thought, I'm gonna make some mint chutney to put out with this. But I was being really super critical of myself because I wanted to do them justice, because I was telling everyone, this mint chutney is amazing, and I couldn't get it right. Got really fed up with myself. But that's because I sat there analysing it while I was eating it that night. Yeah. Going, it's definitely got a bit of this, there's a touch of that. So it's not critiquing, it's not analysing, it's just, how can I do this? Because I like to do this.
Yeah. And do you have like a little, either a mental or physical like book where you write down some of these things and then create your own recipes on the back of them and go from there?
I've got a few notepads floating around that have got scribbles in it. There's then one final polished notepad with all the recipes in it. So I'm very much a pen and paper man.
So the cookbook's coming out.
That would be amazing. Yeah, if anyone wants to get involved and finance that, please do.
Yeah. And how do you find, with the restaurants and places in Ely, do you find they tend to reach out to you more, especially now over the last year or so? It seems you've really kind of picked up your content creation and things like that.
100%. And it's not just Ely. So I'll get Newmarket, I'll get some in Cambridge. The ones in Cambridge I tend not to do. And that's not for any other reason than by the time I've got home from work in Cambridge, I don't really then fancy travelling back to Cambridge at rush hour. It's just all a bit of a faff. But I do go occasionally. But yeah, so Ely, Newmarket, that sort of area, they all tend to reach out quite a lot, especially in the last year. And then what tends to happen? Oh, and St Ives as well. St Ives has recently kind of joined in the mix.
Yeah, I feel like Newmarket and St Ives were both. I think Ely, well, obviously Cambridge was the main one for a long time. Yeah, and then I've noticed personally, Ely's really started to grow like really nicely into that.
100%.
And then surrounding areas have definitely picked up. St Ives, I'm hearing a lot more about that, and Newmarket. I don't think I've eaten out in Newmarket in ages, apart from at Squires at Bedford Lodge on a birthday present a couple of weeks ago. But so
I would give Newmarket a shout out, because Newmarket is, and again, I'm partially biased because I worked in Newmarket for 2 years, but Newmarket's food scene is amazing. When people think Newmarket, they think, it's just horse racing and boozing up. But actually, there's some really lovely, delicate places kind of hidden away on the back streets. They're not just down the main high street. You kind of got to peel off and go to. So to the pantry, like I mentioned earlier, there's Victor Victoria, which obviously I'm going to be biased about because that's where I was. That lovely little places. But there's so many. Newmarket, the National Studs just opened a cafe. So there's a lot more there. You just kind of got to go looking for it.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome. We'll definitely drop some names of places to check out and some links in there as well. So just homing in on Ely, as you just briefly touched on, What's your honest take on Ely's food scene right now?
Right now, I absolutely love it. I think we're kind of in the heart of the Ely Foodie Fridays mix at the market.
Yeah.
I think there's a fantastic mix of cuisines. There's a good mix of chains and independents. And you kind of mix all that with the heritage of Ely, the tourist attraction that is Ely, and the free parking. I think it's a real winner, and I think it's something that people shouldn't take for granted.
Yeah. And how do you think... What's kind of driven this change? Because it certainly feels like, again, probably since after COVID, things very dramatically increased and improved in Ely when it comes to the food scene. Because before then it was your pubs with your restaurants in there, a couple of kind of more expensive places, and then kebab shops. Yeah. And in the last, I'd say, 3 or 4 years, and especially in the last year, we've seen loads more things coming up.
I think for me especially, I moved to the area in 2022, and... so that's where I kind of like noticed it. I'd come to Ely for days out and stuff like that, but never really paid, and no disrespect to Ely, paid much attention to it. Yeah. But obviously I've paid attention to it now because it's our local town. One of the big things that you just don't get anywhere, and it's nothing to do with food, is the free parking. Yeah. So there's a lot of people that go, no, I'll just pop in and I can go out for a meal without having to pay for parking. You don't get that in Cambridge. If you do that in Cambridge, you've got to put an extra 20 quid in the pot for your parking. It's a difficult one. It has definitely boomed. I'm not sure if it's because there's clothes shops that have closed and been replaced by big chain restaurants like Piccolo. Piccolo's got a place. Yeah. I'm a fan of Piccolo. I like them personally. Hosted my wife's surprise 30th meal there for I think 40 of us were tucked away in a corner. So they did a really fantastic job with that. Bringing chains like Gales on board, I think has done the city a load of good. I was dead against it at first when I heard Gales was coming, so I was like, oh, no, we don't need that chain. And then I went in and I was like, oh, we need this chain. But all of the local businesses, so Silver Oak, I think, even though they've got a strong hold on Ely, they do the world of good for Ely, especially with the yard, with their big van and all that sort of stuff. There's so many. I could just sit here and reel through all of the restaurants and businesses and give you X, Y, and Z as to why they've built it. But what they've all done collectively is build a community. There's not one company that badmouths another bad company. There's not one company that wouldn't help another company. Ely Markets themselves, the team that run that, I know Julia's just left, bless her. But Mark and the team do a fantastic job at driving the, no pun intended, the food vans into the scene to kind of mix it up a bit. It's just diverse, very varied, and there's always something for everyone. Yeah, couldn't agree more. I think, like you said, I think some people are against the chains coming in and some others are kind of aren't. I guess I was probably very much like you with when I heard about Piccolo and Gales, that kind of thinking, but that's taking away space for the more independent local traders to use. But then actually you realise the sizes of those spaces, the costs of running those spaces, monumental. They're not really viable for start-up, first-time restaurants and eateries and things. So what they do, I guess, is bring people in because they're known names by people outside. And then once you're in Ely, you go, oh, wait, there's other places to eat as well. It is. I think they all serve a purpose in the town, don't they? Yeah, they sure do. And it's like, and again, another one with Ely is there's a lot of historic buildings. There's a lot of grade 2 listed buildings and stuff. And I know there's one, I won't go into the details of how I know this, but there's one that's currently up for let that no small independent business would be able to take on financially because the roof needs 15 grand's worth of work, which the owner's not willing to do. It has to go onto the business that's going into it. Yeah. So what independent business is going to sign a contract and automatically shoot themselves in the foot for 15, 20 grand? Yeah. No one's going to do it. Yeah. Why would you? Yeah, you take 10 years to make your money back before you even paid yourself. Yeah. So, no, fair enough. With regards to kind of the smaller independent restaurants, who I mean, you just mentioned the Atelier on Fort Hill. Are there any other new restaurants that you think are really doing something special and interesting in Ely at the moment that people might not have heard of yet? Yeah, there's a couple. There's going to be one that people will have heard of, especially if they listen to the podcast, because you had Clara on. Yep. So I'm gonna let's. I'm still classing it as Ely, but let's just take a little drive down the A10 to Willow Grange. When I saw the question come up, that was my automatic answer, and as Clara mentioned on the podcast, I did call their breakfast the best breakfast I've ever had.
Yeah, she was very happy about that.
Having been back on Friday for it as a birthday treat, I can confirm it is still my favourite breakfast. I think there's just something beautiful about Charlie and his team cooking produce that Dan and his team have produced literally 10 feet across the room.
Yeah.
And it's cooked really well as well. And I know it sounds really stupid, but the baked beans that Charlie and his team are producing to go on that plate are just monumental as well. I said, mate, just serve a bowl of that with bread and you're laughing.
Yeah, they're like the most over-engineered baked 100%. Beans I've ever tried.
Yeah,
like,
they're the Mercedes-Benz of baked beans. Like nothing's going to go wrong with them.
Yeah.
But they do wonders in there, and they're all the service is fantastic, and obviously they've got the farm shop there. Yeah. So they're an independent business, which I would easily give a crown to if I could. They are very well. What was the award? I forgot what it's called that they won the other day.
Velvet.
Award. It was a Velvet Award, which they rightly deserved.
Yeah.
They're fantastic. Another one's the Almonry.
Yep.
And the Almonry, for me, has undergone a massive change. I think it's been taken over by Cambridge Dining Company.
Yes, it has, yeah.
And they've worked wonders with it. They've taken and I don't mean this in a derogatory sense, they've taken a place that used to very much focus on the grey pound, so the 65 plus, and turned it into something that caters for the 65 plus, but also for families, for date nights. We went in there and had a roast, and it was the best roast I've had in Ely. Although I've not been out for many roasts in Ely, so I've not got a lot to compare it to, but it was good. It was really good. But also for people visiting Ely from other counties, countries, etc., to eat in that setting, and then you walk outside and you've got Ely Cathedral there.
Yeah.
Tourist attraction, like, phenomenal.
It's quite an experience.
Absolutely
isn't it? Just
beautiful.
That in itself. Especially like a nice sunny clear day when you can see it as well. It is. I think we take it for granted, that building, the cathedral. We live here. I've lived in Ely for the best part of 20 odd years. And in surrounding villages, and you do kind of forget. Like last weekend before, we went to the Home and Garden show at the cathedral, and it was just walking around the outside, I kind of realised like this is a ruddy, impressive building.
It is monumental, and I think
I drive past it every day, and don't look twice. I'm like, I'm just heading down to work and everything else, and then when you actually stop and look at it, and you look at how vast it is, and the fact that how it was built, you're like, that's incredible.
It is mental, and then especially. Not so much when I'm driving, because I'm always focusing on the road. But when I'm a passenger in a car going on one of the roads, either from Soham to Ely or up the A10 to Ely, just what's been made, what they've done so you can see the cathedral from miles away is beautiful. I think the best thing that's ever happened, not the best thing that's ever happened, the best thing I've ever done with Ely Cathedral is use it as a tripod. So I'll quite often, if I'm out doing a solo review at like a garden show or something, I'll just prop my phone up on Ely Cathedral and record a video. And I'm like, this is really disrespectful. This is a monumental building, and I'm just using it anyway.
I mean, I'm sure worse things have been done to the walls of that cathedral at some point.
Let's not go into that.
Let's not forget, it was a Pink Floyd album cover at some point as well, for many years ago. It was.
Oh, amazing!
Which is its own little claim to fame right there as well. So, Foodie Fridays, obviously a massive event now. It seems to be like the thing that everyone in Ely looks forward to on a Friday. Yeah. Unless it's absolutely sweltering outside. Yeah. How do you think that's going? And since when it started and everything else, do you think it's what are your thoughts?
It is just booming. Yeah. It's growing. It's attracting more and more vendors. I know that the wait list for the vendors, I think it potentially might be already booked for next year. I'm not too sure from little murmurings I've heard from here and there. But again, the team at Ely Markets do a great job at trying to keep it diverse and give different options. So, for example, I know they won't have the same people in for 5-6 months, however long it is. Yeah. They'll normally all get a maximum of 3 slots.
Okay.
Well, actually, no, I won't go into that. But there's a couple who don't. There's a couple you'll see who regularly are there. It's one of those events. When I first went to it, I stumbled across it just by chance. I just turned up in Ely on a Friday, and I was like, wow, this is amazing. I hadn't seen any of the posters or anything like that. I just probably hadn't paid attention. But now that it's a calendar thing that I look forward to, as do many others. I mean, my family all know, they're like, it's Foodie Friday, last Friday of the month. There's other content creators who come down and make just the most fantastic content regarding it. So Chloe Green being one of them, she has worked wonders with her own page, but also with Ely Markets promoting Foodie Fridays. Yeah. She has done a fantastic job on that. She's there all the time. There's the camaraderie between the food trucks. So shout out to Ian and Chris. So that's Ian from Anasol and Chris from Scotty's, who have got this dynamic of banter that just creates just a wonderful, wonderful vibe. Again, I could sit here and just list off what is great about all of the vendors that I've met and dealt with and spoken to, but there's just not enough time in the world. I've not come across anyone yet who is not worthy of being there. Everyone deserves their place there. They do fantastic. Yeah.
I mean, I think when I very first went to it, must have been a couple of years ago when it first started, wasn't it? It was the early days that there were definitely teething issues. I think with regards to kind of, I want to say crowd control, which sounds like a really extreme way of putting it. Yeah. But I think there were lots of like hour-long waits for things, and it was really hot, really open, not much shade, not many places to sit. But now that seems to they've really taken that challenge on and fixed that. I think it seems a lot more streamlined now, a lot slicker.
100%, and there's a lot of the companies have kind of they streamline their menus for it as well, because rather than offering 8 different things, they'll cut it back to just 2 or 3 of their classics because they know it works for them and it works fantastically. And again, I've never been anywhere and seen a honey lemonade stand. I think that's quite cool. There is quite a few bakers that visit Ely on the market, but they do a nice mix of them throughout Foodie Friday. So again, you don't just get one going through all of them. You'll have Will's Bakes one week, Jake's Kitchen the next week, Bet's Piece of Cake, the next month, and the following month, etc., so forth. And there's stalls that I wouldn't necessarily have tried had they not been there. So Albon Home Food.
Okay.
The most amazing burek, so like little phyllo wrapped cigars with cheese and bacon in them. And then you get bao buns, you get so many different foods, so many different cultures, so many different people serving, and that's before you even start talking to people who are just there for the experience as well. You can just walk around for hours just talking to people. Oh, what do you like? Sometimes there's a lot of drunk people. Sometimes I'm one of them. But it is just a vibe. Live music, good food, good people. There's your tagline, Ely Markets, you can have that.
And it's definitely bringing more people into Ely on Friday as well. And not just for the pubs and everything else. And I think, well, how do you think about it compared to, do you think it detracts people away from the restaurants in Ely, or do you think it just brings them in where they might not even notice that restaurant around the corner, but they'll come in again to try it another time?
I think there is potentially an issue that people are coming just for Foodie Friday and completely dismissing the pubs. But the point you've just made, I think, is a good point. They might see something and go, we'll try that next time. We'll come back and have some of that. But a lot of the businesses in Ely are utilising Foodie Friday to their own advantage as well. So, again, the Almonry open up their garden for drinks on Foodie Friday night. Which I think is a real godsend, because the entrance to it is literally just opposite the market square.
I didn't know that, actually.
And it's a nice, quiet, sedate garden.
Away from the chaos.
So if it does get a bit too much for you, or if the kids are getting a bit rowdy, or if you are a bit drunk, you can just go and chill and have another drink there. And maybe, I think they occasionally do like a tapas option and stuff like that, or they used to at least.
Nice. So you mentioned obviously Manasol and Scotch eggs. What's your ideal Foodie Friday? We'll go 3-course meal.
A full 3-course meal.
Let's do it properly, you know.
Okay, so to start with, if Gino is there from Gino's Pizza, the wife and I we admit we're lovers of it. His garlic bread, delicious. He didn't have it on at last Foodie Fridays, and he saw my wife walk past, and he just looked at me and he went, "Oh, I haven't got the garlic bread." And I was like, "Oh, you're in trouble." So we'd have to start with that, but we'd also have to share a pizza. So that'd be, then it's a tough one, because then would I pick Manasol, Scotty's and Gino's? Obviously, they're my 3 favourite. That's my personal opinion. That's not me trying to say these should be your 3 favourite. I'll never do that sort of thing.
That's the joy of it. That's why you've got so many different retailers there, is that you've got the choice to try everything and find the one that works.
But then recently I've kind of come across, he's been there the whole time, but Uncle Paul's Greek food.
The Greek wrap.
I'll tell you, on Friday when it was about 38 degrees and everyone was melting, I had one of his the Greek sausage boxes with the salads and tzatziki and a lovely oily flatbread. Just hit the spot. And I washed it down with one of the Greek orangeade drinks. I can't remember what it's called. Anyway, just felt like I was back in Crete last year. I was like, this is the life. And then I was like, I'm in Ely. And I was like, actually, do you know what? There's no complaints here whatsoever. Nice. So let's start with pizza from Gino. Let's go with... I'm going to upset him by picking Ian, but it'll have to be Manisol's fried chicken.
Yeah.
Especially the barbecue gochujang.
Nice. Yeah.
Fantastic. Yeah. Absolutely phenomenal. And to finish, it would have to be... Ooh, it's a good question. It's either a toss-up of something from Jake's Kitchen or Crumbelievable. I'm going to have to, because it's the one I've had most recently. Jake makes a fantastic lemon and blueberry cinnamon roll.
Nice. Yeah.
Served warm, vanilla ice cream.
Perfect.
Dehydrated raspberries on top. Just hit the spot.
Yeah.
Absolutely delicious.
See, I shouldn't do these podcasts in the afternoon.
Yeah.
I'm absolutely starving
Dinner
now.
time.
So ideally, you'd have a Gino's pizza base with fried chicken and a Scotch egg. Just put it inside. And
do you know what? If
make
it's
like
doable,
a calzone, essentially.
That would be. I might have to message Ian and say, "Do you want to make some more content?" Because Ian's well up for it. Because we did it. Chloe and I did it last year. Well, Chloe did it first, and then Chloe and I did it. But taking a cookie sandwich from Sam at Ice Cream and Dreams and getting Ian to batter it, and he was like, "Yeah, I'll do it." I walked up to him at the last time he was at Foodie Friday. I was like, Ian, there's no one new here today. I need something a bit different. Yeah, go get us a hot dog roll. So I went and got hot dog rolls, and he made me like a Korean fried chicken hot dog bun thing.
Nice.
An absolute mess to eat, but it was just one of those. I was like, I need something that looks monstrous. And he's like, yeah, leave it with me, no problem. I was like, cool. So that calzone, that's a great idea. Remind me of that when we finish.
Yeah. It's the ultimate kind of trifecta of collaboration between the three.
Yeah, imagine that.
If you could brand it yourself and
let's
sell
make
it,
that the Matty Makes Munch mess.
Yeah. And just kind of going more into food trucks in general. We've had Anthony here from Papalocus, and we talked to a few other people about food trucks over the last kind of few weeks with the podcast. How do you feel the food truck kind of boom is going in, not just in Ely, but in kind of the area and the country and everything else? Because it certainly is a growing thing.
It's definitely growing, but what's really sad is the rate they're all closing. And again, that's no help to the rising costs of everything.
Yeah.
I get that. So as exciting as it is when I see a new food truck come onto the scene, I also get really sad because I normally think, oh, who's next?
Yeah.
And it's a really horrible way of looking at it, but on a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday night, what are these food trucks doing? Unless they're doing corporate gigs and stuff and going to the pub, it's quiet for them. They've not got the revenue they need. Which is where I think, online presence, if that's something we can all help with, let's get them booming and let's stop them closing down because they're great.
Yeah.
Who doesn't want a very niche cuisine delivered to them at their local pub, market, lay-by type thing? I think it's brilliant. I haven't been to Papalocus in a while, but I had their poutine before. Stunning. In fact, I ripped it off completely and did a poutine bar at work a couple of weeks ago. And in my head, I remember Xanthi saying, "It's got to be cheese curds. It's got to be cheese curds." So I was like, right, I really need to find cheese curds. And I phoned up our local cheese supplier, and they were like, yeah, we can get them, but it's a 48-hour order. I was like, book them in. I need them. It has to be cheese curds, or else I'm going to get shot. I think they're bringing a lot more than just food and cuisine to people.
Yeah.
They're bringing that smile. They're bringing that relationship. They're bringing that friendship. I don't want to say they're bringing vibes and sound like that person, but they are. They're bringing vibes. They're bringing the sunshine. They're absolutely beautiful people doing an honest day's work that isn't necessarily always appreciated by people.
Yeah, I think we've touched on this before with a few different people. When we talked to Ben Solston about his supper clubs and things, and also with Anthony, I don't think people realise the amount of work, effort, and energy that goes into that little cardboard container of food. It doesn't just come out of thin air. They don't just go, "Here's your order, there's your food." Yeah. It's not McDonald's where everything's frozen miles in advance, defrosted, whacked in a cooker, and then dished to you. These things take a couple of days either side in preparation and cleaning and planning and all this kind of stuff. Yeah. And I think you hit the note. It does go on. I think in some ways misunderstood. I think as well, or not educated in a way, where people just think food appears. And it doesn't. That's the thing about hospitality in general. Not just food, but drink, place settings, everything like that. People can't just magically pull a rabbit out of a hat. Yeah. That's not real life. And I'm fortunate enough that in my job I don't experience that too much, but it does happen where you get not demands but requests last minute, and we'll always go we'll do that. But I'm the same as you. When I get a little disposable tray of food or stuff, I kind of look at it and I go, that's someone's love and joy right there. That someone's really proud they've done that. And sometimes the thing that hurts the most is when you see
companies and food vans getting slammed online because ultimately that hurts.
Yeah.
So that's why one of my things I get a lot of stick for this online. I try not to post a bad review.
Yeah.
If I go somewhere and experience a bad review, I go directly to them and I say, look, this just wasn't for me. This wasn't on par. This was my problem. I understand. However, therefore, etc.
Yeah.
There's only been one time I notably know that I posted a bad review, and that's just because the response to my issue was handled awfully.
Right.
And I thought it was a bit spiteful of me, and I actually kind of really regret it. But I thought, I'm not having that. You're not gonna speak to me like that. You're not. And I let, for a split second, my ego got the better of me.
Yeah.
And that video is now since gone.
Yeah.
And I apologise to them for it. And I've gone and said to myself, I will never slam a company because I don't like it. Because just because I don't like it doesn't mean you don't like it, they don't like it, so forth.
Yeah.
And it's just about being really careful, because at the end of the day, this is more than just a business. This is people's livelihoods.
I think that's what's one of the big problems with the kind of the content hungry world we live in now, is that, yes, if you have an online presence or you are a creator, the content is very important. Yeah, content's king, as they say. But there's the people who go down that kind of provocative route, or they want to shock people, so they'll give reviews that are negative, but there's no kind of force behind it. They're just going, oh, I went to this place and it was awful, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And like you said, the fact that you had that conversation first, or you will have that conversation first, because you don't know what's going on behind the scenes to make that.
They could have had a really bad day.
They could have a bad day. It could be the chef could be off sick. It could be someone else in. I know from talking to some places before, I've had not necessarily the best service, and I'm just asking, is everything okay? And they've been like, oh yeah, the head chef's off ill. So and we only found out an hour ago. So everyone is kind of mucking in to do that work around that. So just to turn around and go online and go, this place is rubbish, is so damaging, because again, it's not like a faceless corporation where you slag them off online, they completely ignore you, no one cares, or half the world agrees with you anyway. When you attack, say, like a small food truck, it's not that's like that the owner's going to read that, and it's going to hurt them. Like,
yeah, it's different. It's like I've just recently, yesterday I posted, I did a Swedish McDonald's review.
Yes,
and I did openly, just, I won't say it because I know it's podcast, but I did openly tell everyone how it was. But that's because no one really cares. It's McDonald's.
It's McDonald's,
like you can say,
it's like we all know Starbucks coffee's crap.
Yeah,
like it is what it is.
It is what it is, and but it's got a place.
Yeah,
it's got, to some people, a McDonald's is their only hot meal of the day. Yeah. Fine. I've got no issue with that. I think we've all I've definitely made the mistake before of encouraging negative behaviour online when it comes to reviews. I have been. I have a friend who he stopped doing it now, but he did have a faceless review page, which kind of went down a dark route. And I thought, this is a great idea. We're going to get an honest, raw opinion.
Yeah.
But then it kind of just went a bit left field.
Okay.
And I said, and we had a chat, and I said, he doesn't do it anymore. So I was like, that's fine. It's just be careful. It's people's business. It's people's business. It's people's pride and joy. Let love win.
Yeah. And fundamentally, if something isn't good or you're not happy with it, if you approach the seller and say, I'm not happy with it, because 9 times out of 10, I mean, I know you said you had a bad experience with one, but most places will take that on board.
100%.
And at the end of the day, they want to fix that.
Yeah.
It's the same I say it here. Like when we greet new guests, I'm always like, it's great if you like it, but if you don't like it, can you please tell me why?
Yeah.
You're not going to offend me. You might upset me a little bit. I'll cry. I'll have a sleepless night. But tomorrow I'll wake up a stronger man.
Completely.
And I will then work on ways to fix that problem
100%.
to make it better next time.
I remember there was, and again, I won't name the business because that's not fair for me to do. I had someone reach out and say, can I send you a box of our cakes? Oh, yeah, of course. I'm not going to say no.
Yeah.
And I just really didn't like them. And I messaged him and I said, look, I don't have anything to post about this because I wasn't a fan. I said, it's not because there's anything wrong with it technically. I said, it just wasn't my cup of tea.
Yeah.
Now, there's 2 options here. Please either let me pay you for the box or can we have a chat about what it was I didn't like or something like that. And we did. We had a really nice chat and they were absolutely lovely about it. And they said, I completely get it. Don't worry about paying for the box. I just wanted your feedback anyway. Amazing. I know you're a chef, so that's a bit more... A lot of people say to me, it's good that you're a chef and you also do Instagram because you kind of get two opinions.
Yeah. And again, it goes back to people knowing where the food comes from.
Yeah,
the fact that you know the processes, you know what it's like in the kitchen, you know how intense it can be, how much work goes into prepping, planning, and everything else. To then say something's not your cup of tea,
it would hurt.
Yeah,
I get it. I get it at work when if I have a bad day at work and service doesn't go to plan, I can get an email pinged to me and it will destroy me.
Yeah.
Because I take it so personally, and I'm very. I wear my heart on my sleeve at work, so people know if I walk out of the office and I've got a face like slaps, they're like, right, something's happened. I'm like, I feel really disappointed, and I don't want to let people down. People I'm cooking for, people I'm reviewing for, or people I'm just in contact with in general. You kind of want to do your best for them.
Yeah. Great. So, food trucks, done that. Now, restaurants in Ely. So again, we touched on your Willow Grange and other places. There's been quite a few popping up recently, and some really good ones. What's your take on where that's going? What do you think is happening there? What are the ones that really stand out to you? Because I've got a couple in my mind that I really like.
It's a difficult one because I haven't actually been to any of the restaurants in Ely for a little while, other than the Malabreek. It's difficult. So obviously down by the riverfront, you've got the collection of 3 that are all owned by the same people. So you've got RBK, Urban Fresh, and The Cutter.
Yeah.
So I know they're all owned by collectively the same person, and Urban Fresh last year was put under new management, a lady called Emma, who's since moved to RBK.
That's right.
And she seems to be doing absolute wonders.
Yeah.
With the vibe, with getting live music in and stuff like that. Perfect time of the year to go sit down at the front of RBK with the sun, and especially if you're like us, I presume you're going to be like me, sitting there looking at the boats going, yeah, boat.
Exactly. But it's got an engine, I'm interested, basically.
Exactly. But the food, she stays in touch, and she says, I've got a new chef coming in, we're doing this, that and the other, and she'll send me previews of the menu and stuff. I'll be like, that was fantastic. So I think down by the riverfront, you've got a fantastic mix, because you've got peacocks as well.
Of course.
Which is so unique.
It's just like a staple Ely.
It's just mental. And I think, again, haven't been there for a while. I don't actually think it's ever been on the page either, because every time I've been there, I've just been so lost with everything that's going on. But it's just humble.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. So that's down there. Your little ice cream van as well that sits outside the Antiques Centre. I really hope that never leaves.
I think he's been there since before I moved here.
He's been there since I've been young, because I remember the van.
Yeah.
But there's that new restaurant coming on the riverfront, isn't there? The townhouse has been...
going to be a restaurant and hotel, I believe. Now
nice.
It's got accommodation license, so that'll be built for next year.
Fantastic.
But that's going to be really interesting, because that location is fantastic.
Yeah.
And I think it's going to go down the route more of like a Poet's House-esque, slightly more high-end establishment. But that is really, really exciting. And just a quick shout-out to Emma as well down at RPK. She's done some great stuff for us over here as well. She always promotes us. We always promote her. Before we opened, we were in touch with her about a year ago to work with her when she was over at Urban Fresh. And we got a customer to basically book this whole venue out for a big corporate event.
Yeah.
And then it was a previous location, and it all fell through 2 weeks before it was due to happen. And then we found this place, and Emma really saved our backs with regards to catering, and she did a full, like this enormous, beautiful table spread for the event, and it was just incredible. And they pulled it out the bag in like a day, and she's just been brilliant. And we were doing stuff. She's got a couple of charity things coming up soon as well that we're trying to get involved with to help her out as well.
She is amazing. I mean, so just to touch on the page of Ely Foodies, Emma really utilises that. And again, this is just any local Ely foodie business that's out there. Anything you want sharing on Instagram, anything you want promoting on Instagram, just tag at Ely Foodies in it, and I will put it on story, put it on share, because it's a collaborative. It's not my page.
Yeah,
it's a page for collaboration.
Cool.
So that's why you'll see I will tag or add Ely Foodies as a collaborator on reviews I do in Ely. Chloe does it for in Ely. People like RBK, Urban Fresh, Piccolo Lounge, well, not so much Piccolo Lounge, they've kind of stopped doing it, but people will tag me, share it, if anyone needs a chef or anything, they'll put a post up and tag me in it, it gets shared. So anyone who's out there in Ely Foodies, follow, tag, I'll share it. Awesome. Doesn't matter what it is.
Brilliant. We'll do a little link as well to all your accounts at the end as well. That's brilliant. So further into town now.
So let's
loop
around.
Hill,
I'll tell you what, let's loop around, because you've just mentioned Poet's House and then the old fire station. Yeah. So I have never personally been to either.
Okay.
Never been to either, but I sent my auntie and my uncle to the old fire engine for her, get this right, Matty, 60th birthday. Was it 70? No, it's 60. And she had an absolute blast.
Yeah.
So I had been in there to buy the tickets, and the thing that I loved the most was to get into the room at the back. You have to walk through the kitchen.
That's right. Yep.
Oh, I loved that, but it petrified. Again, chef head petrified me because I could be effing and blinding at a pan that I've just burnt, and there could just be some really high clientele clients walking through listening to me. But at the same time, if I was there eating, I'd want the seat near the door so I could just peer around and watch. Love watching
see behind
kitchens.
the curtain.
I absolutely. If I've got a favourite seat in the house, it's facing the kitchen.
Yeah.
Not because I want to see what they're doing, not because I want to nitpick. I'm in awe of watching them do it because I know what they're going through.
Yeah.
So I haven't been to those two. What else is up that side? Oh, grain store.
Bake shop.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Absolutely
a dangerous place to go
amazing.
on a Saturday morning.
Oh my God, isn't
it? When we do our Silent Saturday event here, we always get pastries from them.
Nice.
So I'll go there. I'll pre-order it a couple of days in advance. Go there Saturday morning and beat the queue. Get my little bag of bits we bought. And then it's like, well, while I'm here, can you just chuck a few of those in for me?
I'll have 5 of those, please.
Yeah, I normally walk out with a bottle of wine. And like 8, 9 in the morning on a Saturday, I was looking and going, who's this guy? But
the worst bit is when you open a bottle of wine, straight thing, 9 o'clock in the morning. No, to me, it's a go-to. It's a special occasion place.
Yeah.
So it's a right, Amy, we've got a weekend off. I'm going to go. Well, I've always got the weekends off, but back when I didn't, it would be I'm going to pop in and get a nice baguette and I get some pastries and stuff like that. So done that a couple of times. Love that in there. If we then circle around, so that's kind of like the Yard. I've gone straight past the Yard. You have to give the Yard a shout out because they've bought something completely unique and different to Ely.
Yeah.
Not always been the most consistent place, food-wise, in my opinion.
No,
Again, that's just my opinion. But vibe.
Yeah,
atmosphere.
It's a great place to go on a
Fantastic.
hot day. It's our Saturday day drinking venue of choice because it's
100%.
10 minutes walk from the house.
Yeah.
It's got a nice garden bit. Beer's good.
Yep.
They do great cocktail deals as well. Their pizza's really good as well. It's definitely improved. We had Tom on here, who was the
great guy,
director of coffee.
Yeah.
I think he is at Silver Oak, and he was kind of ran through the whole history of the restaurant and that bit and how the food has changed over the last couple of years just because of various reasons. But yeah, totally the same.
I think Tom's content is some of my favourite content I see because he's got this really dark and gloomy atmosphere. Just talking about coffee.
Yeah.
Absolutely love it.
He's got a brilliant golf one as well now that I've started following.
Has he?
Yeah. Because he just started playing.
I think the thing that drew me in the most was when he was working on an old Jag, and I was like, yeah, okay, like him. But now every time it's, oh, hi Tom, how are you? So they do wonderful things over there. I personally love their mango cider they have on draft.
Yes.
Again, if I was going day drinking, it would be my place to go. It would be because there's so many. A lot of seating there.
Yeah, so much space. You don't feel like if you're in a crowded pub, like when there's a sports game on, you're like shoulder to shoulder with everybody.
Yeah.
That's just a really nice place to go and relax, kind of be yourself and have fun, basically. Isn't it?
But they also do a fantastic pub quiz.
Yes, is this the
speed quizzing with Ian?
Yes.
So we used to go religiously on a Wednesday night. So me, myself, my wife, and her parents, we'd go have dinner, do this. It just kind of fizzled out because jobs changed and all that sort of stuff.
Life.
But they were just fantastic, and Ian's just an absolute hoot, real laugh.
Yeah.
I think one of my favourite things he does is it Trump or is it Voldemort? So he'll read out a quote and he'll be like, is it Trump or is it Voldemort? But again, just a brilliant vibe.
Yeah.
So that's there. So if we're focusing then on Ely, you've got Bengal brunch.
Yep.
Very different breakfast, and I really appreciated trying that.
Yeah.
We went in, and Amy had just traditional poached eggs on toast and beans on toast, but I was having samosa chaat. I was having I can't actually remember what it's called. The little crispy tapioca shells that you then poke a hole in and fill with all different liquids and stuff like that.
The Indian in Wilburton did them as well. I forgot what they're called now, but yeah, really interesting, really nice.
That's really annoyed me because I could normally tell you, but no, it's gone. So they're fantastic. You've got again just to reel off the chains, your Piccolo Lounge, your Gales, those sort of places. Brilliant.
Yeah,
they offer something that Ely needs.
Yeah,
and that is a consistent, cheaper than average offering. I think maybe not Gales. Would I call Gales cheap? No, sorry that I just call Gales cheap. No, I don't want people to think I've got money. I really don't. Gales is not cheap. But then down the main high street, you've got like, is it Julia's Tea Room?
Julia's Tea Room, and then you've got obviously Victoria's Cheese.
Yeah, Victoria's Cheese. She's had an absolute wild weekend, hasn't she?
Yes.
I felt so sorry for her when I read all that. I thought,
I'm going to go in on Saturday and just buy some cheese.
In fact, she's just giving me all the old cheese. I don't care if it's a bit warm, I'll have it. But I get it. Again, the legislation is just so much red tape to get around. I get why she's done it, and shout out to her. Beautiful shop.
Yeah, it is.
we went in there. My wife had to leave straight away because she hated the smell of cheese. So I was like, fair. But I was in there going, oh, this is beautiful. This is heavenly. So she, again, I've only spoken to her a handful of times. She's really fantastic. Yeah. Julia's tea room I've been in a couple of times. From the outside, it doesn't really fill you with hope. But then when you go in, it's so homely and so inviting. You go down, you've got Ely Grazing Kitchen. My mum and dad are big fans of Ely Grazing Kitchen. They do fantastic work in there. They've also got the little Jim Jam bar truck that goes to Ely Foodies, which I didn't realise until they said to me, oh, yeah, we're the same people that do that. I was like, okay. Cool, that's good to know. Yeah. Who else is down the main high street? I'm trying to think. You got is it Pizza Express and New Wildwood and all those chains?
A few of the
They're all there. Again, they pay their own part. I was gutted to see that Tamarind Bay closed down. The coffee shop, that was heartbreaking. They were lovely. Jack's Gelato inside the Cherry Hill chocolate shop. Yep. Again, I'll have to stay out of that shop. I really do. And then, what's the one next door to it?
Ely Fudge Company.
Oh, the Fudge Company.
Yes, that's a dangerous one because they always have samples and they have samples of everything. Yeah. And we did some little gift packs for our very, very first members here. And I remember going in and taking away 40 bags of fudge. But then while I was there, it's like, do you want to try anything else? And I was like, yes, we'll put this down. I've got 10 minutes. I
think the best thing was last year we were at Foodie Fridays and it was my 30th. And my mum, bless her, my mum's on a mobility scooter. She goes, I've got something in the bag for you. Help yourself. And I went, where did you get this? She went, over there. And it was just a massive multi-pack of Ely fudge. And I was like, Mum, how am I going to eat all this? I did.
So it's a challenge accepted, isn't it?
Yeah, really? I was like, no problem, Mum. I'll do that. So they're great. They're fantastic. They've got a board outside that says no matter what the question is, the answer's always fudge. Yeah. Or something along those lines, which, again, I've just managed to reel it off from memory. So it's obviously done what they intended it to do. Yeah. Who else is there? It's really difficult to try and pinpoint where everyone is. Who's on Four Hill? Who else? Malabarique. Oh, they're good. I've spoken about them.
Standard, Le Spice.
Le Spice is great. So Le Spice will be our takeaway of choice. We'll have that delivered. Never been there to eat in.
It's good fun.
But have it delivered.
Weekends, always busy, always good fun there. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why. I should do that more often. And then completely off market, Prosper. Yeah. The vegan cafe inside the building at the bottom of the car park, as I always describe it to people. Yeah. Just one of the loveliest people, some of the loveliest people going inside a really calm, relaxed environment. And I think a lot of people kind of, when they hear it, they go, oh, it's vegan. It's like whenever I label anything vegan at work, people avoid it. Just if you don't know it's vegan, you wouldn't know. Yeah, it's so nice.
I had an amazing hummus bagel there once. And it was so colourful and the flavours, it was just incredible.
My go-to is a coconut matcha. No, not matcha, mocha.
Not whipped grass.
Can't do it myself. I tried it when I was working at Victoria. We had a Japanese barista, and she said to me, she goes, "Let me make you matcha my way. If you don't like it my way, you don't like it." I was like, "Fine." And I said, Haruka, I'm really sorry. I really don't like it. She's like, "No, that's fine. At least you tried it." Yeah.
Fair enough. The only other ones left in here now are Tom's Cakes on High Street.
Oh, I always forget about Tom's Cakes.
And then take a left from them. You've then got Sushi and Salad, who is
Griddle Bar Meat House as well, yeah.
And I personally think Sushi Salad is one of the most underrated salad restaurants in Cambridgeshire.
I have a confession. I've never been.
But you should go.
I should go. So what puts me off is I am unable to eat sushi without going too much into detail.
Well, that would then defeat the point. So I get that. It's fair enough.
I know there's probably other
next
stuff there.
Next door's really good then. So.
Yeah, I completely forgot about that later, which is really funny because I get my hair cut down there as well. So my routine is go get my hair cut and then pick up Tom's Cakes on the way out. Oh, nice. Tom's Cakes, beautiful. Our pastry chef at work really admires Tom's Cakes, and we'll go in there when she's in Ely and we'll try it and go, I'm going to make this now. And I'm like, okay, Helen, you do what you like. Griddle Bar Meat House. Yeah. It's an important one. I think it needs discussing. It's been something. It's a venue I've seen a lot of mixed comments about. I have personally never had a bad experience in there. Yeah. And I kind of wish people would love it more because there's a lot there for it. There's a lot going for it. The owner, William, he's a really nice chap. The food has always been good. Yeah. And it's in a really nice venue.
Yeah, I found their steaks are really good quality as well. I think that's the main bit. Their ingredients are really good.
Whoever's sourcing their produce is sourcing it from the right place. Yeah. and again doing wonders with it because they're the same. They're owned by the same people. So the wife runs Sushi and Salad, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, I believe so. Yeah.
I can't remember what her name is, which is really bad because I knew it as I walked in.
This place has a tendency to do that, unfortunately.
Yeah, but yeah, mental block as you come in. But yeah, they're again. I forgot about them completely. I'm so sorry, William and Co. But yeah, they're down there, and there's another cafe on the main high street. Is it like the Marmalade?
The one next to like the Cobbler or something.
Something. Yeah. Again, I've never been in there, but my mum and dad love it.
Yeah,
and that's enough for me. And if you want the best chips in Ely, fish and chip shop on the Market Square, just kind of off, banging.
Right. So we've gone on. This is good.
Yeah.
But I think we need to go to the quick fire round.
Okay.
Like, I say quick fire. It's never quick fire.
Yeah.
There's such thing. So best meal you've had in Ely.
Best meal I've had in Ely, Willow Grange, full English breakfast.
Nice.
If that counts as in Ely.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
I think so. The most underrated food spot.
It has to be the Almonry because I don't think enough people go there.
I've never been. So,
Yeah, I think the Almonry. I think Cambridge Dining Company have done wonders in there. Yeah. Okay. Locked in.
Perfect. What's your guilty pleasure food?
Oh, if I'm at home, it's a tiger bread sandwich, dairy cheese spread, and salted hula hoops in it.
Nice.
I could live off those. I could really live off those.
See, I was thinking more like a dirty McDonald's or something.
No,
that is
no,
brilliant.
it is. If I'm having a sad day, and I think it's important people talk about sad days because everyone has sad days. I'll have a dirty KFC.
Yeah.
That's my go-to. But
what do you get for what's your KFC order?
it's a great. It has to be the Mighty Bucket for one.
Nice.
Just because I like a bit of everything.
So I go boneless banquet.
Yeah.
Then with the hot wings as well.
Nice.
Yeah,
Rate that.
The wings you have to have.
Yeah, 100%. But yeah, so it's the sandwich. It's really, it really is. Or again, I don't want people to out me for this, but really gross one is hot buttered toast dipped in ketchup.
Dipped in ketchup. That's a good one. I like that.
Yeah. Like when you've got so much butter on it, it's running off.
Yeah.
Dip it in.
Yeah.
You got your fat. You got your. No, I'm not going to try and justify it. Don't you? It's gross. It's not worth it.
We've lived off hot bread and butter for thousands of years,
exactly,
so it must be good for us. And then final one, what is the one food trend you wish would disappear?
Can I have two?
As many as you like, really.
So
I know what I've got.
Edible food trend, cookie pies. Can't stand them.
Fair enough.
I just think I've never had one that's blown me away. And I just think having cookie with like slabs of chocolate in the middle is just not appealing. I get it, they've got a place, it's just my opinion.
I find that with a lot of that kind of baking where they've made a very, what's a polite way of saying it, average cake.
Yeah.
But then just slapped on loads of chocolate bars and garnish to make it look like this amazing thing.
And
you end up eating all the chocolate on top going, this is amazing. But really the sugar rush is making you enjoy it more than the actual quality of the cake.
And I'm guilty of doing that. when I've made birthday cakes in the past, especially for my nephew and my niece, I will slap as much chocolate as I can on top to stop it looking awful. But yeah, cookie pies, I've never got on board with them.
Yeah.
I don't think I can ever change my mind on that.
I can agree with you on that.
It's not for me. And then the other one, and this could upset a couple of people. I don't like the use of AI in a certain way. You might have seen this online, but if you're promoting your food, please do not AI an image of it.
I am 100% behind you on this one. I've said the same on my
There's people that do it fantastically. So Avi, Mr. Bagel or Beigel, he uses AI fantastically, I think, because he'll create like an image to put a post up of where he is and all that sort of stuff. Yeah. But he's also very front facing with his. He'll do a lot of face front videos.
Yeah,
he utilizes AI correctly.
Yeah, in
my opinion. What I don't like is people who choose to use the AI over Canva for their menus and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I get it. They might be... if they're in a pinch for time, fine. I get it. But when every menu starts looking like a Turkish barber price list, I'm just not for it.
Yeah.
I think... Yeah, I don't know what else to say about that without going too controversial.
I mean, I'm the same with you on that, especially when it comes to pictures of your food as well. Like, most of us now, it's coming from a point, not everyone does, but most of us have got a very good camera on us now in our phones. And if you could take a picture of your food and just do something in Canva with it to make it look good, that should be better than going on to an AI thing and just creating a picture of a burger going, I sell burgers here, that's a burger. When the burger, that's not your burger though.
And I think I put this on Facebook a couple of weeks ago, and I think a very interesting point was made by my friend Nigel, who said, well, when has a McDonald's burger ever looked like the one you see on TV?
True.
A fantastic point, which I couldn't argue.
Yeah.
I do get that. But at least that's been done professional. I don't want to sound like that person.
I did once, because I'm a really sad git, once watch a video on how they make those
Love
adverts.
it. I love
where they
watching
get the raw ones and they paint them and all this kind of stuff. But again, that's and we can't open a can of worms on here because
I really have.
With the AI thing, the other thing is again, it's kind of coming from a point of privilege where like I'm not tech savvy in the way like I'm a massive tech nerd or a graphic designer. But I can get onto Canva and create an advert or create anything without. But I also appreciate that some people, they just want to make something quickly because they know they're not experts in marketing, but they also don't have the budget to pay someone to come and do that for them.
Yeah, that's
I totally get that. But when it's that generic, that phrase AI slop that gets thrown around, where every now, and we're seeing loads of it now during the football as well. Lots of different places throw out the same posters. They all look identical. They're all done on the same app with the same prompts, doing the same thing.
And it's like AI is like a chain. It's got its place.
Yeah.
If they're utilised correctly, fine. I'm just not a massive fan of it. I will actively avoid ordering from someone who's got an AI, and that's just me.
It certainly put me off certain places.
And I get so many people, again, I think I'm heavily influenced by a lot of people in the industry who will see me post about it and they'll reply, I don't like it as well. So I won't name her, but I've got a friend who's a baker who owns a very nice bakery shop in Bottersham, who's very much against AI as well. Me and her will just be like, why are people doing this? Why are people doing this? I have to stop myself and realise it's got a place.
Yeah.
People need it. Try not to rely on it.
I think that's the difference is using it well and then just relying on it for everything.
Yeah.
And also, I think people don't realise that it is this wonderful trainable system.
Yeah.
That the more you use it, the more it learns your language.
Yeah.
But if you're just using it at the beginning to do everything, it's never going to know your language because you've never given it your language.
You've never fed it any detail to kind of replicate what you're trying to do.
Exactly. Yeah.
I use it just to make funny photos of me.
Yeah.
I made myself Prime Minister the other day when Keir Starmer quit.
I used to use it a lot for car modification ideas.
That is
like,
fantastic.
can you turn this little car into like a camper van? Perfect, that looks really good. Stuff like that.
I've never even thought of utilising it for that.
The
Volvo's going to get decimated when I go outside. It's going to be, right, turn this into a race car.
Whenever I have mates who are really good on Photoshop back in the day and they make their cars look brilliant, I'd be like, well, how do I make the wheels look different? What's it going to look like? And I've got to give it here. Whereas now, AI, just go, right, make my car look clean. Get buff out those scratches, put on those new, perfect.
Again, I've done it with my boss at work. He sent us a photo when he was in Egypt last year on a camel. So I was like, can you make it look like he's leading an army through the desert with and it's now in his office, pride of place. Nice. So AI again, it's my opinion.
No,
it's not everyone's opinion.
That's the point of the question. I mean, mine's simple. I hate food that's too big to eat. Like
burgers? Yeah. Fair.
There's nothing worse than opening something up and being like, well, that's not physically possible to fit in my mouth.
How was that going?
I've got to either dissect it and cut it into pieces where I'm not getting the full experience of the flavours, or I'm going to look like a toddler and be absolutely coasting it like that. Yeah. Nothing makes me angrier than eating a burrito that has covered me in it, or a burger that's too big.
That's a very good point. It's all about the eating experience. That's
why I like smash burgers, because they're small.
I did smash burgers at work today as well. Brilliant. And they were just fantastic. They were like proper handheld size.
Yeah, how it should be. It's meant to be a quick, not 14 layers, 3-inch thick, 2 whole tomatoes in there. If it's got to be held up with a stick in it, it shouldn't be eaten.
Yeah, that's a good point. It's all this might just make me sound a bit neurodivergent, but it really stresses me out when I have a terrible eating experience. Yeah. The food could be lovely, but if it's all dripping into the box or it's all just, I can't be bothered.
I'm a messy eater as it is. Like, every shirt I own has a little oil stain.
All of my white shirts.
Yeah.
I've only put this one on because it's brand new and it's got nothing on it yet. I can fully understand that. I mean, the burger night review I did at the pantry is probably the biggest burger I could eat comfortably. But I have had bigger and I just can't do this. Yeah. I can't do this. I'm not doing this. I won't do this.
It starts looking a bit Man v Food on the.
Yeah, so I grew up watching that show. You can probably tell. But I used to watch all those sort of shows, and I think they're brilliant. But yes, I agree with you on that one. Yeah,
good. Well, thank you so much for coming in. That's kind of comes to the end of the questions. I guess the last thing is, Where are you? What's the best way to get hold of you or to read about you or see your content online?
If you want to see my content, I'm only on Instagram. And am I on Facebook? I think I'm linked to Facebook. I don't actively do anything on Facebook. So Instagram at MattyMakesMunch for my food content page, or for the collaborative page, it's Edie Foodies.
Perfect. We will link both through.
Appreciate it. Thank you very much for having me.
Yeah, thank you so much for coming on. It's been great.
Appreciate it.
Really
Yeah.
looking forward to it. Yeah.
Cheers, buddy.
Cheers,
Thank you.
Thank you.